Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Rise or Fall to talk Thursday night football. The Jacksonville Jaguars head to the Cincinnati Bengals in what should be an explosive football game. Or not. Hang here and let's go over it from a DFS point of view. Hey, and we're back. Once again, I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Rise or Fall to talk Thursday night football. The Jacksonville Jaguars head to the Cincinnati Bengals in what should be a very good and entertaining game. I know a lot of folks on Thursday night, you're going to see it 1,000 times. Don't start a flex player from Thursday night in your lineup here. Do away with all that. Just transition to DFS and all that will be gone, where you can have an entire roster of Thursday night football players, the Jags and the Bengals. It's going to be a fantastic game. Trust me, I've dug into this as far as you can get. I got a full page of notes here that I want to share with everybody. That's what I love to do, and you guys are enjoying it. You're watching it, you're reading it. So who would I be? What kind of dummy would I be to stop doing all this? But before we do that, make sure you go to Team Rise or Fall, like and share and subscribe. And while you're there, sign up for the premium service. As you can see on the screen there, Dalvin Cook. It's only $9.99 a week. And I'm no math genius or math whiz here, but if you take $9.99, divide it by 7 days in a week, it's only $1.42 a day. Come on, that is as cheap as it gets. You spend that much in the morning on a breakfast burrito or a Starbucks coffee, probably double or triple that. So do yourself a favor. And if you don't like it, you're like, oh, I spent $1.44. Just hang for the camaraderie. Guys and girls are in the Discord. We're talking lineup building. We're telling jokes. We're sharing fun stuff. It is one of the more fun environments I've ever been around. And I'm not just saying that. My hands aren't tied behind my back here. This is of my free will here. So make sure you go to Team Rise or Fall, like, share, and subscribe. But let's get into the game. As I said, the 0-3 Jacksonville Jaguars head to the 2-1 Cincinnati Bengals in what I think is going to be a very good game. It's the battle of the first overall selections here. Trevor Lawrence takes on Joe Burrow. I've already seen a bunch of different commercials in regards to that, so they're promoting the heck out of it. And let's get right into it. Trevor Lawrence at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's 13th overall against opposing quarterbacks. He's $14,500 on FanDuel. On DraftKings, kid is $15,600. Last week, he completed 22 passes, attempted 34 passes, 219 yards, threw a touchdown, but he had 2 interceptions here. So give me a minute while I go off on Urban Meyer for a moment. This entire team should be better than 0-3. Look, I know Jacksonville Jaguars, historically, they're down and out, just like the Lions here. But Urban Meyer looks in over his head. This guy looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. It's shocking to me that a head coach in Urban Meyer in the NFL is talking to other NFL coaches and coordinators about the comparisons between Alabama and college football here. This is insane to me. This guy that tells me everything you need to know. You can see it from your eyes or your heart or your stomach. Again, I take what I say with a grain of salt. I've never been an NFL head coach. I played football only in high school. So look, I'm not trying to be a couch potato and tell you what these guys should or shouldn't do. I'm just saying, as an outsider looking in, Urban Meyer looks outmatched. He looks in over his head. So again, we have to take that as we may in terms of DFS. So as I said, Trevor Lawrence, $14,500 on FanDuel, $15,600 on DraftKings. The opposite quarterback on the Cincinnati Bengals sideline is $15,000 on FanDuel, $17,400 on DraftKings. Jacksonville's 20th overall against opposing quarterbacks. Burrow only threw the ball 18 times last week for 172 yards, but 3 touchdowns. That's what you love to see. Let's go to the running backs. James Robinson, Cincinnati's 13th overall against opposing running backs. J-Rob is $12,000 on FanDuel, $14,100 on DraftKings. I don't know how they get their prices. It's odd to me. But finally, J-Rob is getting more work. He had 15 carries last week, 88 yards, and he found the end zone. Hallelujah. Amen. The other Jacksonville Jaguar running back, Carlos Hyde, we know the guy's going to vulture some touches. Goal line work, I'm not too sure. J-Rob, as we get moving, he's going to be a more prominent role. I mean, it's already happened. 15 carries to Carlos Hyde's 8 last week, and Hyde only put up 44 yards or so. So As I said, J-Rob, Carlos side, it's pretty clear which one I'd prefer. On the Cincinnati Bengals side of the thing, Joe Mixon finally is doing his thing. He's happy, he's healthy, he's catching passes, he's running the ball. Joe Mixon is $14,000 on FanDuel, $16,500 on DraftKings. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are 25th against opposing running backs here. And Mixon, 18 carries last week, 90 yards. He averaged 5 yards a carry. And that's what you love to see. He's catching passes, as I said. And if you're going to give him 15 plus carries in a game, we can trust him to be a top 10 running back, maybe a top 5 running back. The other running back in Cincinnati, Samaje Perine, FanDuel, $6,500, only $1,200 on DraftKings. He had 1 carry last week for -1 yard, but he had 1 reception for 8 yards. So I'm not worried about Perine digging into Joe Mixon's workload at all. Let's talk about the wide receivers for Jacksonville really quick. Marvin Jones, Visca, you can go down the list, DJ Chark, and even Jamal Agnew. Did you see that insane return, that field goal return Agnew had? And look, Agnew was fantastic here in Detroit. So hang here. Let's talk about how we can weasel Jamal Agnew into our DFS lines. Marvin Jones Jr., $11,500 on FanDuel, $12,900 on DraftKings. Cincinnati's 21st overall against opposing wide receivers. And we've seen this is what Marvin Jones Jr. does. He is the consummate professional football player. He comes in, his head down, he works hard, he stays out of the BS, and he catches passes. He becomes a safety blanket for whatever quarterback in whatever system he's playing for. I love Marvin Jones on Thursday night. He had 8 targets, 6 receptions, 62 yards, and averaged about 10 yards a reception here. So give me Marvin Jones. Visca, $8,500 on FanDuel. On DraftKings, he is $9,900. 4 targets, 4 receptions. Very slow start for Visca, but I think there's a chance here that he can get rolling on Thursday night. DJ Chark, $10,500 on FanDuel, and he is, it looks to be, let me double check here. I don't want to give you wrong information. So DJ Chark on DraftKings is $10,800. So I had I got so many notes, as I said. I'm like looking 15 steps ahead here. So Chark, as I said, $10,500 on FanDuel, $10,800 on DraftKings. Now look, DJ had 6 targets, only caught 3 of those. That's not a good percentage here. 49 yards, and he found the end zone. DJ last week averaged 16.3 yards a reception. You love to see that. And then Jamal Agnew, $7,000 on FanDuel, only $1,800 on DraftKings. I think I might look for a way to get Agnew in my lineups, both on FanDuel and DraftKings. Little pricey on FanDuel, so more than likely he's just a DraftKings play for me. But after that field goal return for a touchdown, what was it, 108, 109 yards, something like that, I have a feeling that they might manufacture a play or two for Jamal Agnew. So you heard it here first. $7,000 on FanDuel. Agnew is only $1,800 on DraftKings. Let's go to the Cincinnati wide receivers. JaMarr Chase. Who faded this guy because of the drops? Not me. I don't have any of JaMarr Chase, so I shouldn't be talking crap anyway. So JaMarr Chase, $12,500 on FanDuel, $15,300 on DraftKings. 5 targets, 4 receptions, 65 yards, and 2 touchdowns last week. This kid is averaging 16.5 yards per reception here. And Jacksonville is 20th overall against opposing wide receivers. I think JaMarr Chase is a must-have on Thursday night, but that's just me. Tyler Boyd, $10,000 on FanDuel. He is he's $11,100 on DraftKings. These prices are blowing my mind here. Tyler Boyd, 6 targets, 4 receptions last week, 36 yards, and he found the end zone to me. So Tyler Boyd and JaMarr Chase, those two are must-haves on Thursday night. And here, T. Higgins, he was inactive last week. He's got some sort of a health issue, like physically, not mentally or emotionally. I don't know, right? Higgins, questionable tag. Make sure you keep an eye on that. He's $11,000 on FanDuel, $12,000 on DraftKings. And then Auden Tate in passing, $6,000 on FanDuel, only $600 on DraftKings here. He only had 1 target, 1 reception, 14 yards, not an issue. What the tight ends here, in these single game videos, I'm always talking about the tight ends. Vice versa. Put one at the captain, other one at flex, and then you flip it around here. Jacob Hollister, $7,000 on FanDuel, and this is the Jacksonville Jaguars tight end. $7,000 on FanDuel, only $1,500 on DraftKings. Do you know Jacob Hollister saw 6 targets last week? He only caught 2 of those. Not a good percentage here. 6 targets, 2 receptions, 15 yards. So the results weren't there last week, but the willingness, the 6 targets shows me that the willingness to kind of use this guy. We saw him in Seattle. Right, he's kind of a red zone threat. He sees those high upside targets. Big dude in the red zone. All it needs is one reception and for a touchdown, and he's going to pay dividends at the price. The newly acquired Dan Arnold for the Jacksonville Jaguars, $7,000 on FanDuel, $6,600 on DraftKings. To be fair, I'm going to say something and then I'm going to argue my own point. He's a brand new Jacksonville Jaguar. How long does it take him to take in the playbook? Which shouldn't be a big deal because mainly Dan is a blocking tight end. They traded with Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. So I think Dan Arnold will be on the field, but in what capacity? Mostly, I would say 80 to 85% blocking, getting hands up in the offensive linemen's faces, and we go from there. In that same breath, I could say that makes for a nice little, zigzag, sneaky move on Thursday night. Everybody might be thinking the same thing as me. Oh, he was just acquired. He's not going to be on the field much. If he is, he's just going to be blocking. That's perfect for me. All it takes is one. Find the end zone, and we go from there. Heck, I'd settle for 2 receptions for 20 yards from Dan Arnold with that price tag here. On the Cincinnati side of things, the only tight end we need to discuss is C.J. Uzomah, Jacksonville's 23rd overall against opposing tight ends. Uzomah, $7,500 on FanDuel, only $6,000 on DraftKings. Again, with so many moving parts in the Cincinnati Bengals offense, which is good. JaMarr Chase, Joe Mixon, Tyler Boyd. C.J. doesn't see a ton of work, and that's fine. Again, it's a tight end in an up-and-coming offense here, so there's not too much expected of CJ. So therefore, makes for a perfect kind of addition to our Thursday night slates. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Thursday night or single game slates in general, that's the time to get crazy. Make the most outlandish lineup you can and put it in $1 GPP or a $2 single entry GPP and see what we get. Worst case scenario, you lose a couple bucks. Best case scenario, you win a couple hundred or a couple $1,000. So get as wild as you can. If it feels dirty and awful and wrong, then you're on the right track. Dirty, awful, and wrong is directly from the Detroit Beastie single game playbook. So you heard it here. Let's talk kickers real quick. Josh Lambo, Jacksonville's kicker, $9,000 on FanDuel, $5,400 on DraftKings. Evan McPherson, $9,000 on FanDuel, $5,700 on DraftKings. And Evan McPherson strikes me as, and this just hit me, strikes me as a name like an actor from like a teenage love story movie, right? Like it's not another teen movie or She's All That, starring Evan McPherson. Never heard of the kid. He's the Cincinnati Bengals kicker, and that's what it is. Let's go to the defenses really quick, which I wouldn't bother with. Jacksonville, $4,500 on FanDuel. DraftKings, $4,500, and Cincinnati is $8,400 on DraftKings here. Of the two, I think I would prefer Cincinnati just because of a turnover or two. Maybe Trevor Lawrence makes a mistake, throws an interception. I am picturing, again, I don't have a crystal ball, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you. I think the Cincinnati Bengals could find the end zone as a defensive touchdown on Thursday night. So again, Cincinnati Bengals, $8,400 on DraftKings. Now, that is it. I hope you enjoy Thursday night football. I'm telling you, Jacksonville at Cincinnati is going to be a good game. I mean, it's professional football. It's two young franchises kind of starting from scratch once again. The 2-1 Cincinnati Bengals, 0-3 Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's sit back, relax, and watch this game. But before I get you out of here, make sure you go to Team Rise or Fall, double check, sign up for the premium services, tell them Beastie sent you. And again, $9.99 a week. That's only almost $1.50 a day. Easy peasy. Actually, $1.42. So thank you for being here, and let's get into it. Let's talk more football. Next time I see you, we're going to be talking about college football, Sunday night football. So thanks for being here, and I will see you on the flip side. Bye.